Hey, what's going on, guys? Shed here, and welcome. So today we are off to the MCN Carol Nash bike show in London. First time I'll have ever ridden to London. I'm on the way to go and meet Mr. Hepcat Harley, or Lord Hepcat, whichever thing he decides to put on today. Yeah, looking forward to it. Just going to take it very gently because it's about 1 degree, I think. So fingers crossed all is okay. But you know, it's going to warm up, so we should be alright. So today, yeah, just going to meet Ian. Something feels wrong and I can't work out what it feels wrong. I've got my kit on, then probably because I've got a fleece on underneath or something. But fingers crossed everything's going to be A-okay. Going to be very chilly today, very chilly. Traction control set to 2. I've never actually ridden it in 2. I've always had it in 1 because that's the least intrusive you can have it. You can switch it completely off, but just one of those things really. It's every time you turn the bike back on, it comes back on, so I just leave it on 1. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Ian. I haven't seen him for quite a while, so hopefully he's alright. I don't think we've sort of tried to do different ride-outs, I think, this year, but never actually managed to do it due to just not health commitments, but other commitments and things like that. And I was ill for one of them, and so yeah, I suppose health comes into it a little bit. But what I wanted to talk about was I've had a couple of goes at editing this vlog and doing it. I couldn't get it to come out right, so I thought I'll redo it now for you guys. What I wanted to talk about, a few weeks ago now, I saw a post on Facebook. It was advertising the sale of retro style helmets. You know, those sort of old racer style ones, and I think Bell do is it a Bullet or something like that. Anyway, so I was having a look, and I just left a comment going, I've always wondered, you know, how protective these retro helmets are, because when you actually see one, they don't seem to have actually that much stuff. They don't seem to have that much padding to them. They seem less chunky. So I thought, well, you know what, I'll just leave a comment. And someone, actually the person of the company who said it was, got back to me and said, you know, all our helmets meet ECE approval, apart from 2 which are dot tested, which is technically not legal. Well, okay, so I had a look, and sure enough went on his website, and these 2 then were marked up. All it said was these helmets have not been submitted for ECE approval. It's up to the buyer's discretion to use them for display or something purposes. I can't remember, I'll word it up exactly how it was on the screen. Whoops. So that was that, and I started looking into it. So in the UK you need to have a helmet that either has a BSI kite mark, a BS number, which I shall pop on the screen, or, which are both British standards, or it needs to be submitted and have passed the ECE 22.05 test, and that is basically a test of how strong a helmet is. Now that doesn't say it's a good helmet or a bad helmet, that it's just pass or fail. Oh god, there's ice there. I looked into it a little bit more, and the helmets that haven't been ECE marked or BSI marked, that are dot tested, actually are not legal in the UK. But in my opinion, helmets like that should be marked up as not road legal in big bold letters, as it has not passed the ECE approval. Not some tiny little bit of text at the bottom of the screen or something like that. And I started reading into it a little bit more, and what I didn't realise is ECE testing, BSI testing, or you can also have an ACU marked helmet, which is legal, which is Autocycle Association, Autocycle Union. It basically says it's fit to be racing in, which in itself is not the best. I mean, it shows a higher standard than ECE. However, the test is about 30 years old. So it hasn't actually been updated for a long time. So a lot of cheaper helmets that probably aren't as premium are able to pass that test. Whereas if they revised it, it'd be a little bit more difficult. Now I've got to be careful on this corner because lots of people crash cars on it. So DOT approval is an American approval system standing for the Department of Transport. It is not recognised in the UK or in Europe. So if your helmet is only DOT tested, technically it's not road legal, which is the same as riding without a helmet. It's the same penalty. Well, it'd be effectively like riding in a flat cap, wouldn't it? It's just you're less likely to get pulled over. But what I didn't realise about DOT testing, where it's different to other things, is actually down to the helmet brands declare that their helmet has passed the DOT test. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, I'm just saying it's not the most ideal thing, because of course big companies have been known to fudge some of their figures, not naming any big car manufacturers there. But you get the idea. You know, you could effectively taint the testing, get the approval and say your helmet's road legal when it's not. But what are your thoughts on it? I mean, do you think that, like me, that if a helmet isn't road legal, it should not be sold? Because that is a minimum safety requirement. I know it's more legislation for the manufacturers to go through for off-road helmets and things like that, but at least then you know you are getting a minimum standard of safety, rather than just a colander or a teapot, or as I said, a flat cap. Personally, I don't think helmets that aren't road legal should be sold in the UK or imported. I think they should be completely forbidden. Just because, as I say, if they've got the qualifications, it ensures a minimum standard of safety. I completely agree, it's up to the individual. Some people, like myself, would rather spend a little bit more on a helmet. Some would spend less. So, I suppose it's up to different strokes for different folks, isn't it? The one thing about these gloves is, my little fingers go quite cold in them. I don't know what it is about the little finger in these gloves. The little finger always goes freezy cold. And my pin lock's not working. It's missing up from the top now rather than the bottom. There we go. How about that for something a bit different? So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, just check your helmet. Make sure it does have the appropriate markings, because as I say, you can get in more trouble for having a helmet that isn't road legal. I haven't really, as I say, I'm going in completely the wrong direction to go and meet him, to then get back on the A14. I really probably should have said something, but I don't mind. Even in this temperature, it's still more hours on the bike, isn't it? Alright, I shall see you in a bit. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.